let's start with the Western Conference standings. Number 1 seed, the Jazz. I'm assuming they're just going to be awesome in the regular season again. Gobert's going to carry him on defense. The million three-point shooters plus Donovan Mitchell will carry them on offense. We'll see if they try to experiment a little bit more for the sake of the playoffs, but regular season-wise, I think they're going to win a lot. Lakers 2 seed. I do think the Lakers will win the West, but the reason I don't have them number 1, maybe the Westbrook fit isn't awesome right away. Maybe they manage LeBron's minutes. Maybe their role players suck. I don't know. But I'll go number 2 for them. Number 3, Phoenix. I think the only fear is Chris Paul just suddenly aging like 5 years in 3 months, which I don't think is going to happen. And hopefully they pay DeAndre Ayton. And yeah. Number 4, I'm going to go the Blazers. Look, man, the Warriors, Nuggets, and Clippers are hurt. Somebody's got to be number 4. The Blazers, pretty well equipped, so walk into next regular season. Yeah, there's questions about Chauncey's defense. Is it going to be more aggressive, more conservative? Larry Nance Jr. gives them something extra in terms of screen setting. This team's starting lineup was good defensively once they acquired Powell last season, so we'll give them number 4. Number 5, I'm going to go with the Warriors. I think they've done enough to round out the roster to where they're not going to be terrible when Steph is on the bench. If he misses too many games, then, well, you're just not going to get that done. But look, Jordan Poole, Wiggins, assuming he gets in shape, Bielitsa, Otto Porter. We will see if Wiseman improves on the fundamentals. We'll see if Kevon Looney continues to be quietly the savior for them at center. And then you have Clay's eventual return, and we'll see what they get out of Moody and Kuminga this year. Number 6, Denver, but it's like really close between them and the Warriors, and maybe the Blazers. Jokic should be able to carry them through most of their stuff without Jamal Murray. MPJ is going to take an offensive jump. They've got a good group of veterans. They're probably not going to be awesome defensively, but I feel like they're still going to be really good on offense. I mean, you're still going to get the off-ball motion around Jokic, and it's not like the shot making is suddenly horrible without Murray, so I think they'll be okay. Number 7, Dallas. Look, I know it's still shooting around Luka. The Bullock pickup was nice. I like pretty much all their role players. We'll see if Jalen Brunson does more off the dribble. But there's always the fear of Porzingis getting hurt or just not being amazing. And going from Rick Carlisle to Jason Kidd is a downgrade. For number 8, I'm going to go with the Grizzlies. They have maybe the most depth in the entire league. They've been pretty good without Jaren Jackson. And now they have Jaren Jackson back. The dude just had like 2 preseason games of 20 points. We know his potential on defense. The fear is that Steven Adams just sucks, which we'll see. Also, very small thing, will Kyle Anderson go to another level as a 3-point shooter? I think that actually does matter a bit. For number 9, I'm going to go with the T-Wolves. The offense should be there, man. We saw Chris Finch having Towns on the elbows, cut action around that. Hopefully D'Lo and Towns are like actually healthy to have the 2-man game. They brought in Beverly for some defense. We'll see who the starting power forward is, but yeah. Let's not forget how great Karl Anthony Towns is. And number 10, the Clippers. If Kawhi comes back earlier than expected, or at all, really, then that's huge. PG is going to take more shot attempts. I just think without Kawhi, it's going to be pretty tough. As for the fans, I need to apologize to Pelicans and Kings. Zion's already hurt, so there you go. And for the Kings, I just don't trust Luke Walton. They were 30th in defense last year. I know there's excitement for Davion Mitchell and all that, but that's where I'm at. I just don't trust Luke Walton. Okay, we head to the East. Number 1, Bucks. Number 2, Nets. I just think the Nets are going to prioritize health more than the Bucks will. I mean, if Kevin Durant's got a hamstring thing or Harden does or whatever, of course there's also the Kyrie thing, and if he's going to be there at all. So yeah, to me it's those 2 teams and then everybody else in the Eastern Conference. Number 3, I'm going to go Atlanta. They've got shooting and dive guys around Trae Young. Their defense should hold up pretty okay between Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter, who might be healthy. He wasn't in the injury report just the other day. And they also don't have a Ben Simmons situation, and they're not old. Number 4, Miami. They are old, mainly Lowry. But they should be awesome on defense. The questions are mainly the fact that they don't have like a 30-point scorer. Lowry's health and their depth is not the best. I mean, they really need Tyler Hero to make all of the tough shots that he was missing last season. He made them in the preseason, so there's that. Number 5, I'm going to go Philly. Really, I don't know what to do with them. If the Simmons thing goes sour and Embiid gets hurt, it could be a disaster season. if the Simmons thing is something resembling cool, then they could finish higher than this. Number 6, I'm going to go with my Celtics. Tatum and Jalen are great. After that, it's questions all over the place. Is Schroeder going to take bad shots? Does Horford still have a year left in him? And it's a whole bunch of young dudes. And Richardson, pull-up jumpers, and Hernan Gomez, who is not as good of a shooter as you might think he is. Time Lord's health, that's a huge thing as well. Ime Udoka is going with a pretty switch-heavy defense. We'll see how that goes throughout the season. Number 7, the Bulls. Their offense should be pretty awesome. The only fear is that they're stuck in quicksand and just watching each other. But that shouldn't happen because DeRozan, Vooch, Lonzo, they're all good passers. LaVine has gotten better as a passer. And defensively, I don't think they're going to be horrible. Patrick Williams being hurt early certainly does not help, but between Caruso, Lonzo, LaVine, who's at least an okay on-ball defender, and Vooch, who's been part of some good defenses in Orlando under Steve Clifford, I think they can drag themselves to being mid-tier defensively. Number 8, I'm going to go with the Pacers. The fear here is like TJ Warren's already hurt. Karis LeVert always has fear of injury, but I think Chris Duarte can step in and help right away. They had a huge coaching upgrade with Carlisle, and hopefully now their offense isn't just Brogdon and Sabonis do everything. Number 9, I'm going to go Charlotte. I'm banking on Gordon Hayward not having another super random injury where he breaks his finger or something. Besides that, it's year 2 LaMelo and Rozier, who's suddenly a 20-point guy, and Book Knight might be a scorer right away for him. Borrego's a good coach. They've gotten more out of Miles Bridges once they moved him to the front court. And number 10, I'll go the Knicks. Defensively, they should still be good. There's fear that teams just shoot a little better from 3 against them than they did last season, because the percentage was like kind of wild. They should improve offensively between RJ hopefully getting better, signing Fournier. Kemba, we'll see. He missed about half the season last year for the Celtics. So as for who I am apologizing to, for one, the Raptors fans, if Siakam wasn't hurt to go into the season, I would have picked the Raptors over the Knicks. So there you go. The Wizards, I know Wes Unseld Jr. is talking a lot about defense. We'll see. I mean, last year they actually were not bad defensively, but I'm not ready to confidently say this team is going to be okay on that side of the floor. Anyway, finals pick. With Kyrie, and assuming things were cool there, the Nets. Without Kyrie, to be honest, I'd go Bucks. And before you say, well, Nets almost beat him without him, yeah, I know. I think the Bucks just got better. I think they just figured a lot of things out about themselves. The main one still being Middleton Giannis screens up top. Okay, now we go to MVP. I hate picking the MVP award because it's like, should I go by what history has said and the trends that usually go into this, or should I just go with my gut feeling of who it would be? If I'm going with that, I would go with probably Giannis. But then I got to go through this whole thing of like, well, has he earned the right to get a third MVP award, and just a bunch of crap that I don't think should go into this award, but it's just kind of how it is. But I feel like I guess I'm going with Giannis. I just feel like every other candidate, their team either isn't good enough, or I'm scared they're going to get hurt, or their team is going to manage their minutes a lot. So I'll go Giannis with not a super lot of confidence. Rookie of the year, I'll go with Cade. I know he's got this ankle thing right now, but I just don't think there's any other rookie who's going to be able to run his team's show the way Cade will. Giddey's going to do a lot of ball handling, but SGA's the main guy there. Jalen Green's exciting. Christian Wood probably going to lead the team in shot attempts. That's just my guess. There's no way that Scotty Barnes or Evan Mobley take the most shots on their team. Now, if Trey Murphy keeps on shooting 60% from 3, then maybe nobody else really has a chance here. But I'll go Cade. For Defensive Player of the Year, I think I'll go Giannis. I mean, the guys who can compete with him, you have Gobert. Maybe the voters just get tired of voting him. That's really all I got for you. Anthony Davis would be another one, but AD just had a whole offseason of rehabbing. Is he going to be ready right now to be awesome defensively? And in the case of somebody like Embiid, there's always the fear of him missing time. Draymond, I just don't think he's as good as Giannis defensively at this point. Most improved, I will join the 9 million other people saying this and go with Anunoby. The Raptors have been giving him the ball so much this preseason. Last year, his three-point shooting took a jump. This year, he's doing more off the dribble as an ISO guy, so I'll go with him. apologies to Jaren Jackson Jr., MPJ, DeAndre Hunter, the entire Spurs roster. So now I guess, finals pick? I mean, with Kyrie, I think the Nets are the best team in the league, better than the Bucks and the Lakers. There you go. Way too much firepower. Role players are good with shooting and guys who can still hang on defensively. Without Kyrie, I mean, I already picked the Bucks in a series over the Nets, so there you go. So then I would have it Bucks-Lakers if Kyrie's not there. Who's the better team between those two? I think I'll go with the Bucks. And for that specific series, I think it would just come down to Westbrook. Is he going to chuck up a bunch of bad jumpers, or is he going to play more efficiently within the Lakers' whole thing? I still believe in LeBron and AD to be amazing. The last thing is like all NBA teams and stuff. I'm just going to list those on a notepad right here. I didn't feel like saying all of this. So yeah, that's it, man. Season starts in a couple days.